Hello everyone, my name is Spencer, and today I will be doing a comparison of the first book, Enola Holmes, The Case of the Missing Marquess, and the Netflix movie, Enola Holmes. Let's get started. So if you followed my reading vlog number 2, you'll know that I've read Enola Holmes a little while back. I thought it was really bland. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was really slow. But first I'm going to discuss a little bit about the book, and then as I describe what the movie was like, then we're going to make some comparisons. And then at the end, I will give a recommendation on whether to read the book first or watch the movie first, or just read the book or just watch the movie. So we'll see at the end. I was interested in reading Enola Holmes for 2 reasons. Because one, the trailer for Enola Holmes the movie was released, and I was intrigued because, you got Eleven, Superman, Finnick, and Bellatrix all in one movie. So I was really intrigued by the story from watching the trailer. Plus, I just joined this middle grade madness group on Goodreads, and that was the book of the month. So I was like, let's get into it. So I read Enola Holmes. It's a pretty short book. It's only about 200 or so pages. I thought it was really slow moving. There were some interesting parts that were enough for me to get moving and continue turning the pages and reading on and trying to find out what happens next. But I wasn't like engaged or really like obsessed with what was going to happen. Like, I didn't care, but I was just mildly interested. Like I mentioned in my reading vlog, we started off with having Enola have this one goal, right? And if you've seen the trailer, you already know that that one goal is to find her mother. At the middle of the book, she changes her goal because she meets another character that she has to help. And then at the end of the book, that side goal, or the additional goal, was met, but we never got any closure for that first goal. There were some hints of what was going to happen, and I feel like it was setting up for the rest of the series, because apparently it is I think a six book series. In my opinion, as I said in my reading vlog, I don't think it's a good thing for a first book. Take, for example, The Land of Stories or Inkheart or The Chronicles of Narnia. Like, the first books in those series, they could be standalone. So yes, there are loose ends that be tied in the future for the rest of the series, but as a whole, you've met one of your main goals. I felt like in Enola Holmes, the book, The Case of the Missing Marquess, we did not even get there, or we did not even have at least some feeling that we were going to get there. We were just hoping that we would get there eventually, which was not super satisfying to read. Also, I felt like the characters were pretty much emotionless in the book. There were some witty lines of dialogue, and occasionally there were some epic moments, but overall it was just really bland. It was like, oh, that's cute, that's fine, that's okay. For me, it was a flat 3-star read. I could see other people really loving it, but I could also see other people disliking it. For me, it was just like, it was okay. Like, I'm not gonna reread this. Might read the rest of the series, but this first book, lame. Now let's talk about the movie. The movie was so good. Okay, so it dropped, I think yesterday. Yes, it was yesterday because I watched it yesterday, and it was so good. If you want a comparison of page-to-screen adaptation, think about the Series of Unfortunate Events, the books, and how they were adapted into the Netflix series, A Series of Unfortunate Events. The Netflix series, while still staying true to the books, they added a lot more elements and a lot more emotion and a lot more character development that made it so much better. That was how Enola Holmes was. One thing that I noticed a difference between the book and the movie, in the book, Enola and her mother, their relationship is really kind of off. Yes, they recognize that they had a relationship because, they were together for a lot of the time, but Enola's mother, Eudora, in the book is much more distant and just really, really private. In the movie, however, Eudora had her secrets, it was really private, but they spent a lot of time together. You could see that bond all throughout the movie. Mycroft, who was played by Sam Claflin, was equally annoying in the book as in the movie. I think Sam Claflin did a great job of delivering what the character was supposed to do. Big difference, in the book, Sherlock is only a little slightly less annoying than Mycroft, whereas in the movie, Sherlock is super kind. He's super trusting of Enola. He believes in her, he wants the best for her, and he lets her pretty much do her own thing, even though he had his reservations. So obviously Sherlock was a lot more likable in the movie than in the book. However, I think knowing the Sherlock Holmes stories, the Sherlock in Enola Holmes, played by Henry Cavill, felt really out of character for the Sherlock we know from Robert Downey Jr.'s and Benedict Cumberbatch's interpretation of Sherlock's character. This Sherlock is a really kind, really loving, really kind of soft-hearted Sherlock, whereas those Sherlocks are kind of sarcastic and they're kind of kind of mean. They don't have a lot of social skills. Also, I thought it was just really odd to like see Sherlock as kind of like this really big buff guy instead of a really kind of skinny, like regular sized person. So that was kind of weird seeing Sherlock portrayed the way that Henry Cavill is. However, I think that the casting for this movie, like every single character was perfect for the role. In terms of the story, while the movie has pretty much the same events as in the book, the chronology is different in a good way. So as I mentioned before, we had this one main goal, and then we switched goals, and then we only fulfilled the side goal. In the movie, however, these two goals were so well intertwined, and they all tied up at the end. Partly maybe because this movie is meant to be a standalone, although it does have enough room to have a sequel or maybe two. But overall, just the storytelling of the film adaptation was so much better in so many ways as opposed to the book, which is rare for me to say because I normally like the books better because I'm more of a reader than a movie watcher. I've always thought that storytelling in books as better than film adaptations. I have a few exceptions, like for example, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. I like the movie more than I did the book. Same goes with The Giver and a lot of other books. There's another character that is kind of different, Viscount Tewkesbury. And this book is kind of an idiot, but in the movie, he is flat out not an idiot, and he even says so. Really smart. He knows a lot about plants and all this stuff, so he's not totally stupid. Another key difference is in the book, Enola and Tewkesbury are just friends. I don't think it was ever hinted in the book that there was some romance going on there, but in the movie, as soon as Viscount Tewkesbury entered the picture, you could already tell that it was going to go somewhere romantic. However, there wasn't really a lot of romantic interaction. You could just always tell that they really liked each other, and towards the end, it was flat out obvious, yes, they were into each other, and their story was not going to end there. There's a character who is in the movie who is not in the book, and that is Edith. She is kind of like this fighter lady. I don't want to give away too much about the story, but she was an amazing addition to this whole world and this whole story that gave Eudora, or Enola's mother, much more depth than what she was like in the book. There were so many moments in this movie that I was just like kind of at the edge of my seat, and I was like, I knew something awesome was coming, and then when it came, either I gasped like really loud or I wanted to scream because there were like so many witty lines, there were so many plot twists and surprises that I was just There's a plot twist in the movie that is not in the book. I'm not going to say what happens, but when it came, I was so shook. And then finally, as compared to the book, the movie had a complete story. Again, maybe because it's meant as a standalone. However, I still think that even if it is a first book in a series, it should be a complete story. And the movie was able to tie everything together towards the end. Enola Holmes, the film, it was so good. It's probably one of my favorite movies of 2020. And this is something that I'll probably rewatch multiple times because it was just so good. So now for my recommendations. So you can either read Enola first and then watch the movie, or watch the movie first and then read the book. Here's what's going to happen. If you read the book first, you're going to have low expectations, so when you watch the movie, you're going to be so mind blown. However, I do know that some people, they watch a really good movie, and because of that, they are intrigued and they want to learn more by reading the book. I think that if you watch the movie first and then you read the book, you're going to be so disappointed because there's not a lot that the book adds to the story that's not already in the movie. Watching the film made me want to read the rest of the series more, because when I just read the book, I was like, maybe I'll read it someday, like maybe 5 years from now or something. But because I watched this movie, I thought, man, I should probably read the rest of the series, because maybe there are some things that were in the movie that were actually spread out all throughout the series. So I would either advise you to just watch the movie, or if you're a reader, read the book first and then watch the movie. Don't do it the other way around, or just read the book. And that is it for my comparison of Enola Holmes the movie versus the first book in the series. I hope you guys liked this. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share with all your friends, comment below what your thoughts are in either the book or the movie of Enola Holmes. This might be something I'll do in the future, just like make comparisons of books and movies, because I like to watch movies and read books. So let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd like to see. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.